Hello everybody, welcome. This is a quick fix for your hips. Great if you have been sitting for much of the day. Just 20 minutes here, no props required, but if you want to use something to cushion your knees, blocks for your hands, feel more than free to bring those into play as well. When you're ready, come up to the front of your mat, spread your toes, and just start to fold forward. As you fold forward, hinge from the crease of your hips. You can bring your forearms to your thighs, your hands to your shins, to any kind of prop, or all the way to the floor. Keep the knees soft. Let the head become heavy. And just begin to feel your body unfolding. You might sway a little bit. You're welcome to take your hands and lace them into the opposite elbow creases. And this is just about feeling some space beginning to happen in your lower back, in your hips, in the back of your thighs. Take another nice deep breath here. Then releasing your fingertips, press them down to the floor or any prop that you like there. Inhale, lift up a little bit. You don't need to straighten your legs, but you can if it feels good as you reach the crown of your head forward. And then as you exhale, bend your knees again, plant your hands down, step your left foot to the back of the mat, bring your left knee to the floor. Now step your right knee back next to your left knee and come to your table pose. Spread your fingers nice and wide and begin to circle your hips. Just drawing circles around the knees, range of motion that feels pleasantly stretchy. Do about 3 or 4 in this direction. Doesn't matter which way you start. And then at the most natural point in the circle, you're just going to switch and you'll do 3 or 4 in the other direction. Maybe noticing if there's any difference in what it feels like to go one way than the other. Coming back as you're ready to your neutral spine. As you inhale, press the palms of your hands down, relax the center of your chest, tail comes up, gaze comes up, cow pose. As you exhale, actively tuck your tailbone down, round your belly up towards you, cat pose. Inhale, cat. And exhale, cat. Try one more set like that. And as you inhale, come back to your neutral spine. You could stay here in your table or you could tuck your toes here at this point. Rock a little back and lift your knees coming to your downward facing dog. Maybe you like to pedal your feet in your downward facing dog. If you choose to stay in table, you could continue to circle or to cow cat if you like. Again, just about opening things up a little bit. Some space beginning to happen in the backs of the legs. One more deep breath. From there, walking or stepping forward, back to the front of the mat, back to dangle. As you inhale, find halfway lift. As you exhale, fold forward, soften both of your knees. You're going to plant your right hand in front of your right foot, and you're going to start to twist a little over to your left. And your left leg might straighten a little bit, it might not. You can bring your left hand to your hip. You can bring your left arm up to the sky, shrug your shoulders back. If the floor feels far away, feel free to place something underneath your hand here. Inhale deeply. And as you exhale, fold forward. Same thing to the other side. The left hand plants down, bend both knees deeply, and then start to twist to your right. You could straighten your right leg if that feels nice. Hand to hip, arm to sky, shoulders back. inhale. And as you exhale, fold back towards the floor. Now plant your fingertips down, lift up again a little bit halfway. Legs only straighten if that feels good. And then as you exhale, plant the hands down again. Step the left foot to the back of the mat. Bring the left knee to the floor. Walk your fingertips back underneath your shoulders. And this might feel great. You might simply stay here. If you like, you could also bring your hands to the inside of your front foot, taking your right foot a little wider, a little to the outside edge of your mat, maybe dropping your hips forward, lifting the center of your chest. And I'm up on my fingertips, but you can have palms of the hands down to the mat or to any kind of prop. Finding this little bit of lizard stretch, opening the inner left hip. Don't hesitate to move around a little bit, maybe looking over your shoulder in one direction. Or the other direction. Inhale, come to the center line. If you have taken your hands inside, you'll want to walk your hands back around the foot and walk the foot back in. Now draw your hips back, coming to your half split, straightening the right leg. Maybe you need to wiggle a little forward or turn your toes up. And you find the back of your right thigh. Relax for a moment here. Again, you can kind of just drape forward. Soft shoulders, soft jaw. As you inhale, rock forward. If you wiggled your right foot forward, you're going to want to take it back in a little bit so your front knee is about over your front ankle. Tuck your back toe under, lift your back knee and step to the front of the mat. Inhale, find halfway lift. Exhale to soften forward. As you inhale again, press your fingertips to the floor and step your right foot back. Bring your right knee to the mat. Untuck your toes. Walk your fingertips back. And again, you could frame the front foot. For some people, this feels perfectly lovely. I like to bring my hands inside just because I feel like I can get more space. I can get my right hip closer to the floor. And if I take my left foot a little out, I can get even a little further down. Just want to feel the front of the hip here. And again, maybe you look a little over one shoulder. Maybe you look a little over the other shoulder. Especially nice to look in the direction of your front knee. Get a nice little extra stretch for the side of the torso. And when you're ready, come back to the center line. If you took your hands inside, you're going to bring them back outside. Walk the foot in and start to draw the hips back for your half splits, your Ardha Hanumanasana, maybe wiggling that left foot forward. And remember, it doesn't matter what it looks like. Your position might look a lot more bent or a lot more straight. It might be quite a bit closer to the floor. Do you feel the back of your leg? Do you feel like you are able in this position, even though it might be quite intense, to let go a little bit, to release, to bow forward, surrender to the pose? As you inhale, come back forward again. If you took that left foot far forward, you'll scooch it back in a little bit. Plant your hands down, tuck your back toe, lift your back knee, and now step back to downward facing dog, or you can bring both knees to the floor for table. Take a few moments here, move around a little bit. Inhale in your downward facing dog. Exhale, bring your knees back to the floor. As you inhale, you want your hands to be a little bit further forward than your shoulders. As you exhale, slide your shoulders over your wrists and begin to lower down, a little push up towards the floor. Untuck your toes, tuck your pelvis down, and as you inhale, roll your shoulders back. Come to your cobra pose. You can come as high as feels good. And as you exhale, gently lower back towards the floor. We'll just repeat cobra pose twice, so any adjustments you need to make before you come up to that second cobra, don't hesitate. Exhale to release. And you just have one more like that, your own pace. Inhaling. And when you're ready, exhaling. From here, tuck your toes under, press back. You can come to table pose or up to downward facing dog pose. This will work in either position. As you inhale, reach your right leg to the sky. As you exhale, bend your right knee, stack your right hip on top of your left for a little bit of a scorpion pose. Press both hands firmly into the floor. You can look underneath your right armpit if you want. Inhale, square your hips. And exhale, step your right foot back to the front of the mat. Now, leave your back knee lifted here, or if you did this in your table pose, you'll lift your back knee up. Inhale, reach the crown of your head forward. Press your left toes into the floor. Lift your left hip a little bit. And then as you exhale, kiss your left knee to the mat. Inhale to lift. And exhale to kiss. And as you do this, you just want to keep your front knee right over your front ankle. As little movement as possible there. Just a few more. Just finding a little bit of heat. Last one. And then here you're going to lift that back knee up. Start to straighten the front leg. Same idea as before, but now you're in a bit of a pyramid pose. If you need something underneath your hands for extra support, or you want to step your back foot in and even set your heel down, you can do that for a more traditional pyramid pose. Or just feel the back of your right thigh. And again, relax forward. Inhale, come all the way forward again. And then as you exhale, plant your hands down and step back to your downward facing dog pose. Take a deep breath here. And then as you inhale, lift your left foot to the sky. Bend your left knee, stack your left hip on top of your right, scorpion pose. You could also be doing this in your table position with your knee on the floor. Shrug your shoulders back if you choose that option. And then square the hips. Left foot steps towards the front of the mat. If you came with me from the low variation, tuck your back toe, lift your back knee. Your front knee is over your front ankle. You press into the right toes. You lift the right hip a little bit. You reach the crown of your head firmly forward. This is your inhale. Exhale is to kiss the knee to the floor. Inhale to lift. Exhale to lower. Again, you could be using blocks underneath your hands here if it feels like your belly and your thigh are just glued together and it's so heavy in the center of your body. It's been a long day. Couple more. Just a wee bit of heat. Last one. Leave that back knee lifted. Reach the crown of your head forward again. As you inhale, lift your right hip a little bit. And as you exhale, straighten the left leg. Bowing forward, feel free to adjust the angle or the distance between your front and your back foot. Again, the straightness of the leg, the closeness of the leg to the torso are not at all important. Do you feel stretchy? That is important. Does it feel good? That is important. As you're ready, come forward, plant the hands down, and then step back, downward facing dog pose. Take a nice deep breath here. With the next inhale, you're going to walk again forward to the front of your mat. Now, inhale, find halfway lift. As you exhale, plant your fingertips to the floor. This is also a great place to use a prop underneath your hands. Heel toe your feet a little wider than your own hips. Toes are out, heels are in, and you begin to squat, sticking your butt out behind you. And that might feel like plenty, this kind of, I call this spider squat. I even like to walk my hands a little further in front of me. You can come down a little further if it feels good. You can come all the way down, hips between the heels for Malasana pose if that feels nice. Maybe even bringing the hands in front of the heart. Take another deep breath in your variation of your squat. And then bring yourself to seated. If it feels comfortable, you can roll back, but you don't have to. And as you come to seated, see if you can come into your Navasana pose. And it might be one smooth movement, or it might be 6 or 7 herky-jerky movements. But eventually you want to hold behind your thighs, lift the center of your chest, maybe lift the soles of your feet from the floor, flex your toes. And just 3 breaths here. Relax your shoulders. Lift the center of your chest. Flex your feet. If you feel quite frisky today, you can extend your arms or even try and extend your legs for this last breath here. And then release. Place the soles of your feet on the floor. And stretch your legs out in front of you. I'm just going to turn to face you so that you can see my legs a little bit better. Feel free to stay facing whatever direction works for you. From here, cross your right foot to the outside of your left leg. We'll take a twist. You could stay right here for your twist, or if it feels good, you could fold your bottom foot in. When you're ready, reach your arms up as you inhale. And as you exhale, twist over to your right. You can hug your knee. You can take your arm to the outside of the leg. Just let this feel really lovely. Relax your shoulders. Inhale, come back to the center line. And then here we're going to come into a little, totally forgetting the name, Gomukhasana legs here. And if you are seated like this and this feels comfortable, you could simply start to wiggle your bottom foot a little out and your top foot a little over, coming into this variation of Gomukhasana. Maybe that's a little too much, or maybe you already have your bottom leg extended and you can keep your bottom leg extended and you fold your top foot in. And you're looking to bring the top knee to stack more or less on top of the bottom knee to the best of your hip's ability. That may or may not happen today. If it feels good, you can fold a little forward in either position. This is also a great place to use props. If your knees are not even close to being in a line, you might decide that a prop here, a block underneath the knee would be good. Wherever you are, keep a little engagement in your belly, whether you're straight up or folded forward. Take another deep breath here. And then gently go ahead and release. You could use your hands to unwind your legs, or you can reach your hands behind you and unwind. And you're just going to go over to the other side. So now extend your bottom leg out, cross your left leg over the top of your right knee. You could stay here for your twist, or you could bring your bottom foot in, placing it next to the buttock. Inhale, lift your arms up. Exhale to find your twist. You're twisting to your left side towards your top knee. Relax your shoulders. Take a deep, full breath. And then coming back to the center line on an inhale. As you exhale, you can begin to move towards your Gomukhasana legs. Maybe it's simply extending the front leg a little further out to the side and the bottom leg a little further out to the side. Both of your butt cheeks sit comfortably on the floor here. You can stay. Maybe you like to extend that bottom leg out. Vice versa. See where you begin to feel your hips a little more. Maybe you need to lean forward for that to happen. And don't be afraid to practice something different on these different sides. Go again for that symmetry of sensation rather than the symmetry of the appearance. As you're ready, walk your fingertips back in. Roll your shoulders away again. You can lean back, or you can grab onto the legs, unwind. Place the soles of your feet on the floor. If your butt is not in the center of your mat, scooch so it's there. Grab behind your thighs, lift the center of your chest as you inhale. And as you exhale, roll down to the mat, bringing your knees as you're ready in towards your chest. Rock a little from side to side. Maybe even turn the soles of your feet up towards the ceiling for happy baby. And then releasing the soles of the feet to the floor. Make sure that you can touch your heels with your respective middle finger here, so you're pretty close to your buns. Bring your hands out to the side, press your heels down, gently lift your hips. bridge pose. Press down into the heels of the feet as you inhale. And as you exhale, soften the hips towards the floor. Take the feet a little wider than the distance of your own hips and gently sway the knees from side to side. And gently extend the legs long, coming to your Shavasana. Take a deep breath in here. And a big sigh out. And allow yourself to relax your jaw, your shoulders, your belly, your hips, your thighs, your hands, and your feet. I encourage you to stay here for as long as you can. An extra 5 minutes would be fantastic if you have the time. I am going to leave you here. This is about our 20-minute mark. I hope you enjoyed this class. Have a wonderful